Good morning, everybody. Let's get that music off. There we go. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Thanks for being here. Let me fix my screen here. That's not it. That's not it. There we go. Cool. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for jumping on today. If you are on, drop a comment. Let us know you're there, please. Good to see you. Diana. Good morning. Leo, Nicole. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Appreciate you all being on. We are going to go through today building your AI brand. So if you were on the training a few weeks ago where we started talking about, as a realtor, how to start mastering AI, this is a second session to that. So if you weren't on that training and you don't have access to that, Leo's going to drop in Leo, if you don't mind, drop the link in for that first training, the website. Make sure you work your way through that one first before you dive into this one, just because it'll make more sense. So this is kind of like a session 2 to that first session that we did. So Leo just linked it there. Hopefully you guys can click on it, grab it. But let's make sure you jump on that. Why AI, right? Why AI? If you recall when we talked about this a few weeks ago, 25%, 1 in 4 people now are going to AI rather than going to search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing. They're going to AI and asking about real estate content. We're asking about who's the best realtor in Lake of the Ozarks, who's the best realtor in St. Louis, find me homes for sale in this subdivision. People are going, 25% are going to AI now, and that's a big number, and it's only going to increase. And so we know it's going to increase, so we have to start getting ahead of this. I promise you, not a lot of your competition. I say competition. It's not really competition. There's enough business out there for all of us. But the vast majority of realtors in the country or even in your market are not utilizing AI like they probably should. They're not embracing it. They probably don't see the importance of it. And that's what I really want to drive home today is the importance of it, but 2, how we can start using it. So Leo dropped in session 1. Make sure you click on that and start reviewing it. Not right now. Let's get through this session, but after this, start looking at that. And we're going to dive into session 2, which is about building your AI brand. What I want for all of you is that when somebody goes into ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or any of the AI search engines out there, or AI, not search engines, AIs, I want you to be found so that people see you as a trusted resource to help buy and sell homes. Do me a favor, drop in the comments, what AI are you using right now? Are you using ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, one of the other 100 that are out there? Drop in the comments. Let me know which ones you're using right now. And to be honest, there is no wrong one. And that's why if you weren't on ChatGPT, there we go, Claude, ChatGPT. Leo, bring those up on screen, please. So yeah, ChatGPT is probably going to be the front runner for most people. I was a big ChatGPT user. I recently switched to Claude. I've been using Claude a lot more. If you recall in session 1, though, AI like Perplexity is really great for running comparables, for really balancing out and looking at pulling your comparables and then looking and seeing how you stack up against AI's comparables. It's good for numbers driven. Claude is excellent for website design, building web pages, landing pages, different things of that nature. ChatGPT is still a solid front runner as well. Claude, some ChatGPT, Gemini. Yeah, Gemini is a good one as well. Ties right into Google if you're a Gmail user. So cool. So yeah, a lot of people, though, it looks like ChatGPT for the most part is what a lot of people are using. We're not going to really get into specifics today. That was more of what session 1 was. So again, click on session 1 after this is over and work through the website. And we're going to dive into this. So it says here 4 hours. We're going to get this done in an hour. So there will be some questions, I'm sure. And if you have questions along the way, please drop them in and ask. All right, let's get in. So here we go. How do we go from AI user to AI recommended agent? So session 1 gave you the tools. That's why I say go back to session 1 if you haven't. Session 2, now we're going to talk more about the strategy, about building a digital presence so strong that AI platforms, Google, and real humans all arrive at the same conclusion that you're the agent to call. So what does that mean? Here's what we're going to go through. We're going to go through 6 modules. We're going to talk about your AI brand foundation, your AI content engine, your advanced GEO strategy. Many of you are familiar with SEO, search engine optimization. The new thing now with AI is generative engine optimization. That exact signals that make AI platforms recommend you by name in your market. So that's module 3 we're going to go through. AI-powered video and voice, becoming the market authority, and advanced prompt library. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the foundation. Now, here's module 1. And what it says is this is your brand foundation. So before AI can recommend you, it needs to know who you are, where you work, and what makes you the best choice. This is about laying the foundation deliberately. So what does that mean exactly? Well, step 1 here, we're going to talk about defining your niche so that AI can actually describe. So what it says is essentially the agents AI recommends most consistently are not generalists. Right? They're specialists with a clear, searchable identity. So here's an example. Real estate agent in St. Louis is too broad. I want you to think about if you've ever done any SEO, search engine optimization on your website, and you were trying, let's just say you started this, 6 or 7 years ago, and you were trying to get your website ranked as real estate agent at Lake of the Ozarks or real estate agent at St. Louis. Chances are those search terms were heavily searched, but there were already websites dominating that space. Websites like Zillow and maybe even local agents who had been building their websites for 5, 6, 7, 8 years prior to you starting on it. It's too broad. And so we don't want to focus on broad. What I want you to think about is how do we get niche specific? So don't think about real estate agent in Jefferson City, Missouri. Don't think about that. Think about more specific, like an example here, first-time home buyer specialist or first-time buyer specialist in South County, St. Louis, right, is what AI can latch onto and recommend with confidence. So we want to think more niche specific. Now, you can have multiple niches, but what I would recommend is starting with one niche. And here are the examples that it gives. Now, keep in mind, AI built this guide. When I went in, I prompted it to tell me, what do I need to do to become a realtor that's showing up in AI search results in all of the platforms? And I let AI do its thing and build this guide for me. And then we've been utilizing this too. We've been utilizing this at a brokerage level for some time now, and we're getting more people that are reaching out to us that are finding us on AIs like ChatGPT and Claude. And so it's interesting to see that it is working. We're doing what it's telling us to do, and it's starting to work because people are finding us. So I find that very interesting. AI agents recommend the most consistently, not the generalist. So your niche doesn't have to be a property type. It can be a geography, a life stage, a buyer persona, or a transaction type. That's the key, is that it's specific enough to be memorable and searchable. So think about this from a geographical niche. Hyper-local area specialist, a specific city, a neighborhood, subdivision, or school district. Example, the O'Fallon, Missouri real estate expert. Rather than St. Louis, if you're from St. Louis, we know St. Louis is huge. We get into more hyper-local markets like O'Fallon. O'Fallon's about 100,000 people. It's a smaller market than St. Louis Metro, which is a few million. All right, demographic niche, serving a specific type of buyer or seller. Examples, military relocation specialist, 55 plus, first generation home buyer. And then property niche, become the go-to for a specific property type. Examples, new construction expert, historic homes, luxury. Some people are foreclosure experts, short sale experts, but think about a property niche and then transaction niche. Own a specific type of transaction. Probate specialist, divorced real estate, relocation, corporate transfers, first-time sellers. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have one niche and that's only what you serve. What it's saying is you have to go deep on one niche to start showing up when people search for that niche. So you can have multiple niches, but what I say is go deep on one first and then build a second, a third, a fourth. It's kind of like how we build our business. We know that SOI, our sphere of influence, should be the foundation of our business. And there are other ways to generate business outside of that as well, like expireds, for sale by owners, door knocking, all of that. So think of it from that context. Now, what we want to do is start crafting our message. Once you know your niche, AI can help build out the full messaging framework. So what it can build for you is a tagline, a bio, a core bio, a short bio, an elevator pitch, a value statement. So what I want you to do, and you don't have to do it right this second, but go into whatever AI you're currently using and say, I'm a real estate agent at NettWork Global. Just copy and paste this. I'm going to drop this link too, so you guys are going to have access to this link. So don't feel like you have to be scurrying to type notes. We're going to drop this link in so you have the exact website I'm looking at here. So you can just literally copy and paste this stuff and start going step by step. So don't feel like you have to screenshot any of this. We're going to give it all to you. So what you would prompt is say, I'm a real estate agent, NettWork Global, specializing in, put your niche in your specific area. I want you to help me build my brand messaging using these factors about me. And then you're going to paste 5 to 8 facts about your background, your style, results, things about you and your business. Write me a core 200-word bio in the third person, a 50-word short bio, 5 tagline options, and 4 30-second elevator pitch. Tone, confident, warm, expert, geographic keywords. List the specific cities and neighborhoods that you work in. So that's the prompt. I want you to copy and paste it, insert your data in there, and then start seeing what it pulls up. And what it's going to do, it's going to pull a tagline for you, a core bio, a short bio, elevator pitch, and a value statement. Pretty cool. Now, why are we doing that? Well, so one, it's going to help start to create your online persona, right? But before, we can start doing that. But what we really need to look at too is we need to audit where we are at presently today, right? And I guess if you have questions on this, drop it in. But here's what we need to do. So it even says here, before building forward, know exactly where you stand today. A digital audit tells you what AI sees when it looks you up and where the gaps are. So we need to go look and say, do I have a Google business page? We're calling that critical. So AI is saying Google business profile is critical, making sure every field is complete, photos, reviews responded to, and post active. You can post on your Google business page. So I would say go to your Google business page and take a look at it. And are all of the fields complete? Do you have photos uploaded in there? Are you getting reviews on there? And are you responding to reviews? And are you making posts on there regularly? So Google business, if you don't have a Google business page set up, I highly recommend it. Go do it. And Leo, maybe we can do a training on this if people don't know how to set up a Google business page. Pretty easy. What I would recommend, Google will say you can set it up with a specific office address, or you can set up a Google business page with the areas that you serve. I would recommend doing the latter, doing the areas that you serve. Very important. So don't do the specific office address, do the areas that you serve. It's going to serve you better. Realtor.com profile. Go to your profile and look and see, is it set up correctly? Do you have a biography, a bio in there? Right, recent sales is all of that set up. Your Zillow profile. I know everyone says Zillow is the enemy, but the mass majority of people go to Zillow. Make sure your profile is set up correctly. Make sure you're capturing your sales on there. Does it show the number of sales you've completed in the last 12 months? Are you getting reviews on there? Very important. LinkedIn, they're giving it as a high priority. Make sure your personal headline with niche, featured content, your personal website, neighborhood pages, blog, contact info, niche, Facebook business page. They're actually giving that high priority. Now, I know we've had some social media experts on here saying that your Facebook business pages are dead. I kind of bought into that. AI is saying the opposite. So I'll admit when I'm wrong. I listen to the quote unquote experts. From an AI perspective, they're saying your Facebook business page still has some importance. So making sure it's completed out there. I know that when we post on our Facebook business page, we don't get as much interaction typically as we would on our personal page. And that's kind of where the experts from social media were coming from. But AI is saying that it is important. So if you do have that, continue to use it. Other sites that have some medium priority are things like HomeLight and Fast Expert. Go on there, claim your profile, and update it with your recent transactions. And then medium to Instagram. Facebook, we have the Facebook business page. I would also say that your Facebook personal is important as well. Think about your Instagram account and your Facebook account and LinkedIn account. And think about if I went there right now, would I know what you do? If I didn't know you, if I went to your profile page and clicked on it, would I immediately know that you are a realtor and what areas you serve? And if the answer is no, I would build that out to reflect that so that people can immediately look and say, oh, this person's a realtor in Lake of the Ozarks. This person's a real estate agent in Springfield, Missouri. So I would look there and start setting your bios up to be there. Now, the consistency rule here, your name, brokerage, phone number, location must be spelled and formatted identically across every platform. Even small inconsistencies confuse AI's ability to confirm your identity and authority. So keep that in mind. It has to be consistent. Make sure you don't have any errors. Make sure your phone number is the same, your email's the same. A lot of us have maybe multiple emails, so make sure they're not different across all platforms. Make sure it's super consistent with each of these platforms. Now, another thing too, the 10-point profile optimization checklist. Run every profile through this checklist before moving on. Each each item is an AI discoverable signal. So full legal name exactly as licensed, consistent across all platforms. NettWork Global listed as your brokerage. Your niche stated explicitly in the headline or first sentence of every bio. At least 6 specific city or neighborhood names mentioned naturally in your bio. Professional headshot, current within 2 years. That's one we all struggle with. Who's got a recent headshot, or whose is like 10 years old? I think mine's from 2020. So I need to work on that. But that's the thing we all struggle with, right? Is the headshot. But get a new current headshot. Doesn't have to be, just get one done. Doesn't take long. Get at least 25 Google reviews and respond to every single one of them. Super important that you're responding. That shows Google, which helps in turn go into AI, that you are active on your page. And Nicole says she changes hers often. That's fantastic. I do not. I need to. But so make sure you're responding to reviews and active content posts within the last 30 days on at least 2 platforms. We have to be posting. So AI knows we're alive and well and still in business. Phone number and email consistent, at least 1 external website. You can ask, that's a good one. Throw that one up there, Leo, from Elise too, please. You can ask your partners, vendor partners for reviews as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be a client. Vendor partners can refer you also, recommend you and review you also. So keep that in mind. Build your AI content engine, module 2. So again, you're going to have access to all of this. So you're going to be able to go through this step by step. And we have a 1-page or a multiple page PDF. Leo, if you want to load that in now too, if they can download that, we'll put it on Facebook as well. It's kind of like an overview of all of this. So one-off content doesn't build authority, a system does. This module teaches you how to use AI to create repeatable content machine that produces valuable market-specific material every week in under 2 hours. So here's the big thing. I find that most of us don't post for lack of want, or we have the ability to, we want to. Basically what we're doing is we don't know what to post. So what this does now, it's going to give you your 4 pillars of framework on what we should be posting on a regular basis. So it even says, instead of scrambling for content ideas every week, build around 4 permanent content pillars. So I want you to think of these 4 things as your content pillars for what you're going to post consistently. And what they are is pillar 1 is hyper local market intel. Think about monthly market updates, neighborhood statistics, new developments going on in the markets that you serve, school rating changes, infrastructure projects, anything that proves you know your market better than anyone else. That is a content pillar. The second one is education and expertise, how-to guides, process explainers, tips for buyers and sellers. This is the content that gets shared. It makes people feel smarter following you. So education and expertise, positioning yourself as an educator, someone that's teaching about the market. How-to guides can be extremely important. I know we have people on here. I think, Angela's on here. I think she does an excellent job on creating video, which we're going to touch on here too, on educating the consumers. And so that's stuff that's going to show up in AI over time. Social proof and results, your closed deals, your client testimonials, before and after scenarios, days on markets, wins. Yeah, there you are. Hi, Angela. Welcome. Thanks for being on. But think about that. Most people are only posting number 3. We post at a closing. We post, we just sold a house, just listed, price reduced. We're typically only doing those social proof, showing that we're in real estate, and we're missing the other 4. And so pillar 4, your personal story, your personal brand and story, your values, your why, your community involvement, your team, your process. This is what makes people choose you over another agent with similar stats. So you have to show that you're real as well. So the weekly rhythm here is 2 posts from pillar 1 or 2, 1 post from pillar 3, and 1 from pillar 4. That's 4 posts per week, achievable in under 90 minutes with AI. So let's see what that looks like here. So here's what you can do. Once a month, you can go into your AI. Again, any of them are good. ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, whichever one you're using, totally fine. Go in once a month and do a focused 90-minute AI content session. So what does that mean? You're going to spend 90 minutes once a month. That's all this is going to take. And you're going to walk out with a full month of posts, blog articles, and an email to your database. So here's what you do. Gather your inputs. Go look at last month's MLS stats for your area. Again, this is why, 1, you don't want to have a ton of areas because it's going to become overwhelming. I would recommend starting with 1. Start with one geographical area that you tend to sell more in, or that you intend to you want to sell more in. Pull last month's MLS stats for your area, any notable closings you may have had, upcoming community events, any marketing news you noticed. Paste that into ChatGPT or any AI that you're using and run the monthly content spring prompt. So in module 6, it's going to talk about that. It's going to draft you 16 post drafts across all 4 pillars. So it's going to create all of this for you. That's the cool thing, is that let AI do the work for you. We don't have to think about this anymore. We just let AI do it for us. You're going to review it, make any edits that you want, and add personal details to each post to make it feel more authentic. That's the big thing too. I think people are missing right now. I see a lot of posts, not from any particular realtor, but I just see in general across every market now, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Every segment, like the news and in the financial departments, all of this, it all starts to feel a little bit non-authentic because people are just copying and pasting directly from AI. So you still want to have some authenticity in these posts, but ask AI to expand the best market stat, post in a single word blog article. Blogging is still really, really relevant. So you should have a blog. You have a blog, I believe, on your NettWork Global websites through Bold Trail. Go to Claude too. Claude can build you a website that can do all of these, a lot of this for you, which is really cool as well. Schedule these posts, so you can schedule these all and go. So here's what you do. You go in from a prompt and you say, I need to create a full month of real estate content for the month of May. Here's my market data. Paste your stats, my notable activity this month, recent closings, milestones, community involvement you may have had, my niche, put your niche in there, your market cities, create 16 posts across these 4 categories, 4 hyperlocal market intel, 4 buyer seller education, 4 social proof and results stories, 4 personal brand posts, each post under 150 words with a question or call to action. Vary the formats, some short punchy, some short story time, and some list style. There you go. Copy and paste that in, see what you get. All right. So now this still requires work, right? This is a 90 minutes, going to take you about an hour and a half once a month, but it's going to create all of your content for you that you can begin posting on social media. So pretty cool. It's, again, AI is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us. And these are the things that they're saying are necessary for us to start showing up when people go to AI and ask for a realtor. So just keep that in mind. Now, the content repurposing stack, this one's cool too. The smartest content strategy is not creating more. It's getting more mileage out of what you have already created. So there's a motivational speaker, Ed Milet, and he talks about you don't have to keep recreating a new message. You need to preach the same message to a larger audience of people. So same thing here. You may have a lot of content already created. Maybe you've done a lot of blogging in the past. Maybe you've done things. You can just recreate that and repurpose it. So if you think about that, you can go here and say, you can take the content you already created. So say you have a past blog post, maybe you did a year ago, but it's still relevant, or 2 years ago, repurpose it, turn it into a 60-second video script with strong hook, 5-slide Instagram carousel outline, short email newsletter, LinkedIn article, right? Keep your niche, all that. So just think about these prompts are really, really beneficial to repurpose content that maybe you have already done. So be thinking about that as well. Now, I know this might feel a little overwhelming to people because it seems like a lot. And that's why I recommend one, again, you're going to get access to all of this. Go step by step. You don't have to do all of this in one day, right? But just start getting familiar with it. Like the easiest way to learn AI is by doing and using it. And the cool thing about AI is you can just keep asking it questions and it's going to keep giving you more answers. And so don't feel overwhelmed by this. Just start with the first steps, copy and paste a prompt in there and start letting it do its thing, and then ask it follow-up questions. Writing neighborhood pages that rank and get recommended. This is, in my opinion, going to become one of the most important things, especially if you're already farming a neighborhood. You have to have neighborhood pages that rank. Now, with SEO, this has already been an important thing. So if you have a website, you want it showing up, but writing neighborhood pages. Now, you could go into Claude and drop this in there, and it can actually build neighborhood web pages for you and build you a whole website. So just keep that in mind. But neighborhood pages on your personal website are one of the highest leveraging things you can build. They serve as double duty. They rank on Google, and they give AI platforms specific location-rich content to reference when recommending agents in the area. So you could go here and say, write a 500, go to the prompt in AI and say, write a 500-word neighborhood profile page for whatever, Villages of Bainbridge, whatever the neighborhood is. And for my real estate website, include a lifestyle description, typical home style, price ranges, school districts, community info, all of that. All right. So can we see an example? So they're all going to look different, Elise, but let me look real quick. They're all going to look different because they're going to be on your website. Let me go to one of my old sites, maybe. Leo, can you pull up the real estate exchange site? Hang on a sec. But yeah, we'll get you an example. But what I would do, Elise, is I can't type and think at the same time here. So what I would do, though, Elise, is take this prompt and build it in, right? So let me do something real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is let me drag this across real quick and see if the screen changes. This is an old website of mine, still active. We used to generate tons of internet leads here when I was running my team. And this would be an example, Elise, of these are all the area pages that we built out to rank in SEO. So this website still actually generates internet leads. And this is what it looks like. Now, this was done, I don't know, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, and I haven't really done anything with it ever since. But this website ranks in Google, and I get probably 40 leads a month from this that I don't do anything with, that I've been trying to figure out what to do with them. They just sit in the database because it drives people to home search. So this would be an example, though, of an area page. So what you want to do on your website is start building out these area pages and allowing, you can see some of them aren't even really built out all that well. But this would be an example of different area pages that you can build out and allow AI to do this. Now, we did this well before AI. Again, over a decade ago, I think I did all this. So Leo and I did this together, but we built out every market kind of in St. Louis. We built out an area page for it. And over time, it started to show up where internet leads just started finding our page and signing up. They would search for properties and we would get free leads. So this is an example of why you want to build these out, though. One, for SEO purposes in Google, but two, for GEO. So it's showing up so AI is finding you when people are asking for a realtor in Baldwin. So just keep that in mind, build those out. That would be an example, though, of what it looks like. What I would recommend, though, is, again, writing out, taking this prompt right here, filling it in, and letting ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity do their thing for you in building out the page. Now, on your Bold Trail sites, you can go on to Web and IDX when you log in, and you can add page. You can take what it builds for you and create those pages in your site. Or, again, you can go to Claude and have them build out a new website for you. It takes not that long at all. So just keep that in mind. Again, I get some of this can be a little overwhelming, but that's why we're going to give you this guide to work your way through it. I promise you, once you start playing around with AI more and just kind of playing around with these prompts, it starts to make more sense, and you're going to find it's really not that difficult at all. It's just, you just play around with it and it starts doing things for you, and you keep asking it follow-up questions. But let's talk about the advanced GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. So in session 1, we touched on this and talked about it. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper on it and how to utilize it. So understanding the mechanism matters. ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google's AI overviews don't pull from a realtor database. That's really important. Keep that in mind. Doesn't matter about the agent that's selling the most houses in that area. They synthesize what they learn from the web. So the questions they're answering is based on everything I've read, who is the most credible, mentioned, and trusted agent in this area. Now, in my opinion, this is a game changer for an agent that maybe doesn't have as many sales in an area as somebody else. If you're using this at a higher level than that agent that's selling a lot in the area, chances are you're going to start getting displayed before that person because you're doing what AI wants you to do. So mention volume. How many times does your name appear alongside your market area and specialty across credible web pages? The more mentions, the stronger the signal. Source authority. If you get mentioned on a local news site, real estate publication, we're going to talk about how to do that. Review density and content freshness. AI tools heavily weigh recent published content. An agent who posted a market update last week obviously is more alive to AI than one who posted 6 months ago. So frequency matters as well in where we're posting. Look here, though, a citation. So getting your name on authoritative sites. A citation is any mention of your name, location, specialty on external websites. So real estate directories like Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, make sure you're using all of these. Everyone listed here, make sure you've got a profile set up. That's going to become very, very important. It has been important. Better Business Bureau, set one up there too. If you're not on Better Business Bureau, set it up there. Bing Places, there are things here that we wouldn't even maybe think of. Apple Maps, Foursquare, these all pass authority signals to AI. So make sure you're showing up on there. I know like Yelp wants you to pay and all that. I wouldn't recommend paying for any of these necessarily, but get the free, they all have free options. Go there. Local media, you can pitch yourself as a real estate expert to local newspapers, neighborhood blogs, city magazines. Maybe you have like your local HOAs. Maybe there's something you can do there with an HOA that you're in the neighborhood of. Joining your local chamber and getting on their website as well can be very beneficial. Any non-for-profits, maybe there's some charitable things you do and you can link back with them on their websites and get named on their websites. Going to become important as well. But every citation should include your full name, the company you work for, NettWork Global, your specific market area, and your specialty. Partial citations are weaker, so complete, consistent ones compound over time. Very, very important. Reviews are not just social proof, they're AI training data. So get the reviews. When 40 reviews mention first-time buyer in Chesterfield in your name, AI learns to associate with that exact query. So I know that when we get reviews from people, we can't say, hey, I need you to write this specific review. But just keep in mind, if you start working with a segment of people that are first-time home buyers and they're like, hey, this was our first house we bought in Chesterfield. It was a great experience with Angela. You know, stuff like that is going to start showing up more. So those reviews are very, very powerful. So you can give people some guidance on the review. You know, we don't want to just say, hey, write this specifically by any means, but just keep that in mind. The more specific reviews and mentioning that is going to help as well. So keep this in mind here. Here's a prompt. So we want to get Google reviews. So the target is to get 100 plus Google reviews mentioning your specific market areas. This is a long game, so start now. So write a personalized review request email for my client. All right, so let's just say you've had closings, even past, think about years ago, people you sold houses to. Good way to reach out. But write a personalized review request for my client, John, who I just helped buy or sell a property in Chesterfield in this specific neighborhood or city. We describe one specific win or moment, one in a multiple offer situation or sold in 8 days over asking. The email should feel warm and personal, not templated. Include a soft suggestion to mention the neighborhood in the review and include a placeholder for the direct Google review link, 100 words max. So you can go have your AI create these emails for you and send them to your past clients and guide them on what you want to say in the review. And what a great way to go send that out to people. So if you don't have a strategy already for asking for reviews, AI can help you start to build that strategy around that. So again, AI, very, very important. What do we got here? Elise says, Stacy sends the Google review request to them in a text, and she gets a review for almost every closing she has. Yeah, awesome, right? Texting, you can make this a text. Make it shorter. Doesn't need to be 100 words. Make it, say, write a personalized review request text for my client, right? Rather than an email, or do both. You know, so just keep in mind, reviews are going to be super important. Responding to reviews just as important. When you get a review, respond. Even if you get a bad review, they happen occasionally. We don't want them to, but they do happen. Respond to them. People, if you get one bad review, let's say you have 80 good reviews and one bad review, it's not the end of the world. That actually shows you're human. It actually makes the review seem more legitimate. So a bad review is not the end of the world. Make sure you respond to it professionally, not combatively. But that's going to be something very important, that even if you get a bad review, like the goal is to never get a bad review, but it's not the end of the world if you do. It shows you're human. Things happen, mistakes happen, miscommunication happens. It's how we react to it that's important. So again, not the end of the world, but yeah, love that. In a text, at least, good idea. Track your AI visibility score over time. So here's the important thing. What gets measured gets improved. So run this 15-minute AI visibility audit every 60 days to track your progress. So go into ChatGPT and say, who are the top real estate agents in your specific market? And note if your name appears. If not, I would then follow up question and say, what do I need to do? And we've given a lot of guidance on what to do here, but I would say, what do I need to do to start showing up? And it's going to give you a list of things to continue to do to start showing up. Go into Perplexity. Who is the best, your niche agent? Who is the best short sale agent in St. Louis, Missouri, in Chesterfield, Missouri, in Baldwin, in Springfield, whatever your niche is, see what shows up. Go into Gemini. Now, here's the thing. I would start with one when I start building these things out, but as I'm going through and checking and testing, I want to check different ones. So I want to check ChatGPT. I want to check Perplexity. I want to check Gemini. I want to check Claude, because we know that people are using all different AI platforms. So I don't want to stay specific to one. I want to go to all of these and start asking them who's showing up in when people are asking for these specific things. Then I want to go Google my name and my city and note what pages appear and what they say. When somebody Googles me, what shows up? All right, I want to check my Google Business Profile Insights and track my search views. Am I getting more visibility on my Google business page or not? I want to count the total review volume, average rating across platforms, and then just log this in a simple spreadsheet to show if I'm getting more traction or if I'm not. So patience required. Big note here. GEO is a 3 to 6 month strategy, not a 3-week one. AI platforms update their training data periodically, not in real time. So consistent effort over 90 days produces compounding results. Agents who stick with it see dramatic shifts in visibility. It's not a short term. This is a long-term play. We know AI is here to stay. So it's not going to happen in a week or two. Stay consistent with this over a 3 to 6 month period. Now, video. AI-powered video and voice. Video is the highest trust content format. Who on here loves video? Who loves to get on video, be on camera, loves to see themselves, thinks they sound great? Or who kind of cringes and says, oh, I can't believe I sound like that. I don't want to get on video. I'm the latter. I hate being on video. And I know it's important. Angela loves it. Yeah. Angela, I know you love it. All right. So some people love it. They're very good at it. Other people hate it, like me. Super important, though. Here's why it's important. AI makes it dramatically easier to produce, and this module covers how to script it. So from a trust content factor, it's going to help build a lot more credibility if you're willing to put yourself on camera. It's not an absolute necessity, but it is very important, right? Like, you're going to build more credibility if you're willing to get on camera. So you don't need studio equipment. You don't need your phone. Or you need your phone and AI are enough to produce content that builds real authority. And here are the 4 formats that work best for real estate agents. So keep in mind, the studio quality is not as important as the actual content itself and the consistency of delivering the content. I was at a mastermind a couple of years ago. There were 2 guys there that wrote a book, like YouTube Secrets. I can't remember the name of the book, but they were big YouTubers and teaching people how to show up on YouTube. And they wrote a couple of books about it. But they talked about, in your car, park your car, get your phone, and just start doing your content right from your car. Like, the car is actually a really good studio because it's somewhat soundproofed. You're in an enclosed space. So don't overcomplicate it. Don't think like, oh, I have to go spend all this money on lighting and this great camera and all this and that. Just start doing it first. You can build the quality over time. The more important thing is getting the content out, getting it out consistently. So here's what AI recommends. Neighborhood tour videos, 60 to 90 second walkthrough of a neighborhood, coffee shops, parks, commute routes, vibe. These will rank well and build hyper-local authority faster than any other format. Market update videos, 2 to 3 minutes state of the market. Videos for your area, short, data-driven, and always relevant. AI can write the script from your MLS data in 3 minutes. Educational how-tos, how to make a competitive offer, what happens at a closing, how to price your home. How-to videos, extremely important. And then client story videos. 60 to 90 second story about a client's journey, challenge, what was the outcome. No client on camera needed. You can just tell the story yourself with their permission, of course. So film one neighborhood tour video this week. It takes 20 minutes to shoot on your phone, 10 minutes to script it with AI. Post it to YouTube, Instagram Reels, and Facebook. That one video does more for your AI brand than a month of text posts. That's the thing I really want you to drive home, is that right there. That one video does more for your AI brand than a month of text post. So that right there tells you if you want to start showing up in AI at a high level, we need to get comfortable doing video. So again, not something many of us enjoy. Tina says, I might like the way I look, but I hate being recorded. Yeah, for sure. Terrified of camera. There we go. Yeah, exactly. I would agree, but it's one of those things where we just have to overcome it. So let's look here. AI video scripting, from the idea to the camera, ready in 5 minutes. So the number one reason agents don't post video is not the camera. It's not knowing what to say. So AI can solve this. Here's the exact framework for scripting any real estate video in under 5 minutes. You need a hook, bold statement, 5 seconds, question that stops the scroll, context, 5 to 20 seconds, what you're covering, why it matters right now, the actual content, 3 key points, and a call to action, one clear final step. So you're going to go into your AI and say, write a 90-second video script for a real estate agent in Chesterfield, Missouri. The topic, whatever my neighborhood is the best kept secret in St. Louis suburbs. Get a hook. I want a 5-second that stops the scroll. Setup, 15 seconds of context. Value, 60 seconds covering 3 specific reasons why. And then a 10-second call to action. I want a tone conversational, confident, like I'm talking to a friend. Include specific local details, like mentioning 2 to 3 real things about the area. So go take this, copy and paste it in, and see what it gives you. So super important. It's going to craft the script for you. You could literally sit right here now and pull your phone out and just read your script. Right? You can put it on your computer screen and just start reading it. So just keep that in mind. It's going to create a quick framework for you. And now we don't have to worry about what am I going to say. Let AI do it for you. Super important. Let's see. We got some comments here. Leo, pop up a couple. There we go. Okay. Tina, the great thing about recording and not being live is that you can edit it. Yeah, you can redo clips at any time. Exactly. Do it as much as you need. 100% agreed. Pro tip, put a small ball under your foot while videoing yourself. I roll the ball around and it puts a little movement in my body enough that it's not so focused on my face. Sometimes we are too still, which in turn focuses on imperfection. Oh, I like that. Cool. Yeah. Nice, Angela. Good call. Very cool. All right. So yeah, video. And then you can also tag in, like we're going to roll out our podcast again. We ran a podcast for a number of years. We're going to start getting it going again. I've been saying that, but we're actually recording this week. But we're going to start bringing guests on as well. That can give you more validity as well, being a guest on a podcast. So super important there. Yeah, Angela, love the pro tip though. That's awesome. And it probably keeps your leg from shaking too, right? If you're sitting there and you're nervous, your leg starts shaking. So it probably draws a little bit of awareness to that as well. Now, becoming the market authority. So authority is what separates an agent with a good profile from an agent AI recommends without hesitation. So this module is about advanced plays, press media. This is going to be a little bit more complex, right? So getting local press coverage. But what it's going to do is it can give you some guidance on who to pitch to: local newspapers, real estate reporters, neighborhood bloggers, city suburb magazine editors, TV news, real estate segments, radio morning shows, right? It can start to guide you on some prompts to create some emails to start reaching out to people. Again, this is kind of like one of the last phases of doing this. But the neat thing here is, like, how do we start getting some strategic press coverage from people? Maybe like we had Lisa Dickerson, one of our agents, had a really cool old house, like a historical, big historical old house priced about $1 million. It got picked up by some different Facebook groups and it started to get a lot of coverage. So think about things like that. If you have like a specific interesting listing, are there some Facebook groups out there, or organizations or companies or historical societies that will maybe pick up your listings and want to talk about them? and get you into their publications. There was this local St. Louis newspaper a number of years ago, back in 08, I think, or 07. I renovated this historic home, and I was able to reach out to them, and I got the house put in the newspaper publication. And so on their website as well, I got tagged in it, so that those are things you could be thinking about. Think about if you have specific listings, could it be a good fit for some sort of local organizations to start getting put on to their websites as well, because that's going to give you more brand validity as well. Strategic partnerships as well. How can you work with your lenders, your title companies to get put on their websites, your home service providers? If you're maybe you have a list of contractors on your website, well, maybe you could in return have them list you on their website, right? So home service pros, local businesses, community organizations, like maybe you do something with your kids' sports, you do some sort of sponsorships there, things of that nature, Chamber of Commerce, like getting put on their websites as a authoritative figure will help AI build more trust that you're the right person that should be displaying when people ask for realtors in specific areas. And then we talk about too, when someone Googles your name, having a knowledge panel appear on the right. So if you're not familiar with a knowledge panel, they're difficult to get, because essentially what it is, if you look at like a big organization, like type in, I don't know, like General Electric or General Motors or Ford, chances are on Google on the right side, there's going to be what's called a knowledge panel that shows up. And it's going to become essentially like it recognizes you as a legitimate entity. So we all know Ford, right? Ford Motor Company, you type that in, it's going to show up a knowledge panel because that's a huge company and it's a legitimate entity. Our goal is, how do we start, when somebody Googles our name, start to show up and get a knowledge panel? So ways to do that are going to be ensure your name appears on multiple credible external sites, claim your Google business profile, keep it actively updated with posts and photos, create a Wikipedia style about page on your personal website. Very important. Structure with your name, role, location, background. Get quoted or mentioned on at least 3 external articles or publications. You lost me. You lost me on the Google Knowledge Panel. So to date, I don't have one. NettWork Global doesn't have one. It's one of those things where it's difficult to get. But essentially, if somebody Googled your name on the right hand side, let me look real quick if I can pull one up. Let's see. So even companies, but basically, I can't find a good example right now, but what happens is on Google, you Google it, on the right side, it pulls up what they call a knowledge panel, where it gives basic information about the company. I'm trying to find an example real quick. Bear with me. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So Leo just threw one from Ford in the, let me pull this over. So it'll be like this. It shows up here. So it displays their Wikipedia. It starts displaying information on the right-hand side. This would be what's called somewhat of a knowledge panel, where it's going to give a lot of information about the company right then and there. And that's ultimately our goal as a real estate agent, is we want to have a knowledge panel. So how do we get a knowledge panel? Well, it's giving some instructions here on how to do that. But you want to claim your Google business page, create a Wikipedia style. You want to get quoted or mentioned in at least 3 external articles and publications. Now, again, this is going to be more advanced, but we're working toward this. Right, so read here. Google and AI platforms distinguish between a search query and a named entity. Once you cross the entity threshold through enough consistent cross-referenced mentions, you begin showing up in AI recommendations far more reliably. Most agents never cross it. You will. So again, start with step 1 there and start working toward this. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, but it is something that can happen through time if you stay consistent with it. And the nice thing is you have a whole guide here on what to do. And now keep in mind, this is like 4-hour thing here of content. We're going through it in an hour. So that's why I'm going to give you access to this so you can make sure you do it. And you can just go back and keep referencing it. But your execution roadmap. So here's what we're going to say to do over the next 90 days. There's 12 things to do in the next 90 days, and you will have built more AI authority than 95% of the agents in your market. So month 1, we want to complete your brand messaging audit and update all of your profiles, launch your content pillar system, and send review requests to every past client in your database. So that's what we're going to do month 1. And again, all you have to do is scroll up and go from there. Month 1, again, film and post your first neighborhood tour video. Write and publish your first neighborhood page on your website. Month 2, do your first monthly content sprint. 16 posts, 1 blog plus 1 email. Pitch 1 local media outlet with an AI written pitch. Month 2, identify and reach out to 3 strategic partnership candidates. Claim and complete any remaining directory profiles. Month 3, guest appear on, if you want to appear on the podcast or any other local podcast in the area, really important, or start your own podcast for that matter, to give more credibility and authority. And then month 3, run your 90-day AI visibility test and compare your results to your day 1 baseline screenshot. So that's where you want to do that today, is run that visibility test on AI, how I mentioned earlier. Up ahead, go into each ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of those, and ask, if whatever your niche is, who's currently ranking in your niche. And then the compounding effect. Each of these actions alone produces modest results. Together, consistently executed over 90 days, they can create a compounding effect that most agents simply cannot compete with. By day 90, your name will appear where it didn't before in AI recommendations and Google searches and in the minds of your market. So I know that's a lot. Here's also a prompt library, though. So prompt library. So you can go in here and do, a monthly content sprint, create 16 social posts for the month of May across 4 pillars, right? These are prompts you can just copy and paste, and you're going to fill in like things like your niche, but go start playing around with these and see what they give you. See what your AI gives you. Again, no AI is the wrong one. Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, they're all fantastic. Copilot through Microsoft. I've played around with that one a bit as well. I'm pretty heavy into Claude right now. I'm really liking what Claude's giving me. Doesn't mean you have to use it. Use the one you want to use. But these prompt libraries, I would recommend going in here and copying these, pasting them into your AI, make some adjustments on like your market, your cities, your niche, and just see what it starts giving you. The fastest way to learn this is to start playing around with it. If you just say, oh my God, this is too much, I'm never going to start. I don't know. I would start with just copying and pasting these prompts in there and just start seeing what it gives you and where you can go from there. But what I'm going to do, Leo, if you could drop this link in as well, please. We're going to drop this link in here, and you're going to have access to all of this. So what I would say is just start. I would start by just playing around with those prompts at the end, but then just go in here and look here and say, okay, what do I need to do? Read section 1.1 and start going through that. And then once you complete all of the steps there, go to 1.2 and start doing this. Copy and paste this prompt and let it build for you. And then go to 1.3 and start looking and saying, okay, I need to go check out my Google business profile. Is it complete? Is everything filled out? Is my realtor.com profile completed and filled out? Is my Zillow profile, my LinkedIn, my personal website? Angela just mentioned our LinkedIn Network Global isn't claimed. Yeah, we're having issues with that. We're trying to figure that out. We're going to get that worked out, though. Go into your personal websites. I would Google your name and see what shows up, right? But just start taking it step by step. Don't get overwhelmed by this. There's a guide right here to specifically tell you what to do. And I would take one step at a time, work your way through it. And then over time, as we mentioned, you're going to build a really, really good AI profile. So I know this is a lot, but don't feel overwhelmed by it. Literally start small and just go step by step. Go step by step. And if you spend a little bit of time on this every day, what I would also say is I wouldn't make this something that totally occupies tons and tons of your time. I would maybe dedicate an hour a day to this. And no more than that, but dedicate an hour. Now, if you want to go deep on it, go for it. But if you want to go faster, go for it. But what I'd say for a lot of people is get in the habit of using this on a daily basis and building on it every single day. Don't let it consume all of your time. Keep your real estate business going. Know that AI, everything we taught on here today is it's a long-term play. Think of it like farming, right? If you want to go farm a neighborhood, you're not going to send a postcard out and get 100 people responding to that one postcard. What will happen though is over time, if you consistently send marketing collateral to that neighborhood and then you door knock on top of it, and then maybe you do some neighborhood events, over time you can start to take market share in that neighborhood. The same is true with this. This is not something that you're going to do once and all of a sudden people are going to start calling you and saying, hey, I saw you on AI. You're our realtor now. This is something that's going to have to be done consistently. We started doing some of these things with NettWork Global about 6 or 7 months ago, and it's starting to pay dividends. So it does take time, but I think we've had 5 people now reach out saying they found us on AI. So not bad. I mean, think about if you started doing this now and in 6 months you got 5 closings from it. Pretty cool, right? So again, don't feel overwhelmed. Click the links here. We'll email them out. Yeah, we'll email them. We'll post them on the Facebook too on this training. It's live in Facebook also. We'll get them posted there so you can grab them from there. But just take your time. But if you didn't do session 1 where we posted earlier, make sure you go through session 1 first, work your way through it, and then move over to session 2. Session 1 is more of a general overview of how to use AI. This is more of how to start getting shown in AI showing up. But again, I know that's a lot of content. My biggest takeaway from today, don't be overwhelmed. Just go through it step by step. Complete 1.1, then move to 1.2. Complete 1.2, then move to 1.3. Complete 1.3, move to 1.4. Just keep working your way down. And over time, you're going to have built out a really good AI presence. So hope it's helpful. If you have questions, drop them in. Looking here, I don't see anything, but drop any comments in. If you want to jump up here and ask questions too, let us know. We can send you a link and pull you up. But that's all we have for today. I appreciate everybody being on. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, appreciate you all being here. If you have questions, drop them in. I'll hang out for a few minutes. If not, feel free to jump off. But thank you for being on, and we'll see you all very soon. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Hey, Elise, I want to comment on your question there. I would get specific. And what I would do too is I would get specific, but I would let AI tell you what to do. So I think that's the most important thing is like AI can literally tell you how specific to get, what they recommend, what is going to help show up. So just prompt AI. Think of AI as like a genius that works for you, right? It's pretty cool. So like getting specific, ask it how specific it should get. How specific should I be on my neighborhood pages on my website in order to start showing up in AI search? And prompt it that way, at least, because I think that's the most important.
I apologize for that, everyone, if you can hear me. Michael just had a power outage. So, yeah, if you need help with the landing pages, Yeah, I believe Michael was touching on that one. So those um, neighborhood landing pages, they were manually done on a platform that we used to own. So, and I believe these can also be replicated on our Bold Trail account. So when you log into Bold Trail, I know Michael mentioned this over earlier. So Web and IDX, and just add a post there, and yeah, you can just have AI create the content for everyone, and that should take care of that. And yeah, also I just wanted to highlight the power of internal links on these posts, so we're not just posting um, fixed text content. Because if you look into the developers page on Google, um, they're actually highlighting the importance of these internal links within your actual posts. So yeah, those are really important, and that they really recommend using internal links for these posts, and that would get you more AI visibility. And that's from the developer's site on Google. So if they're talking about that, then that should be a good tip for all of us using these content. So yeah, thank you so much.